Hello everyone, my name is Renata Hutasoit with NPM number 234116061. Introduction to Organizational Structure Design. Organizational structure represent the formal arrangement of rules, responsibilities, authority, communication channel, and coordination mechanism within an organizational. It defines how work is divided, how resources are allocation, and how individual and unit interact to achieve organizational goals. Okay, a well-designed structure ensure that the organizational function efficiently. Change can be managed effectively, and employees understand clearly what is expected of them. Key purpose of organizational structure design. Number one, aligning structure with strategy. The structure must support organizational strategy, whether the focus is innovation, cost leadership, customer responsive, or global expansion. Number two, enhancing operational efficiency. A clear definition of labor reduce redundancy, speed of workflow, and streamlines process. Number three, clarifying rules and responsibilities. Ensures each member know their tasks, reporting lines, and decision to making boundaries. Number four, supporting organizational culture. Structure influence how people behave, communicate, and collaborate. Number five, providing a framework for managerial control. Without structure, monitoring and controlling activities recommends difficult and chaotic. Modern organizational face complex challenges, global competition, rapid technological change, workforce diversity, and digital transformation. Authority in organization. Authority is the legitimate power granted to individual to make decision, issue comments, allocate research, and enforce complaints. It is a formal component of organizational design and provides the backbone of coordination. Characteristic of effective authority: legitimacy, acceptance, clarity, and boundaries. Types of authority. Number one, line authority. Line authority is the direct formal authority that manager have over their subordinates. It follows the vertical chains of command from top management down to frontline employees. Key characteristic. Number one, move the work in a straight line. Number two, involves decision to making tied to core operation. Number three, managers are responsible for performance outcomes. Next, staff authority. Staff authority allow specialists and advisory unit to provide expertise, recommendation, and support to line manager without having direct command over them. Function of staff unit. Number one, acting is internal consultant. Number two, providing analysis and insight. Number three, recommending policy and procedure. Number four, offering technical or professional support. Function of authority. Functional authority is the limit or right to direct activities in other department within a specialist function. Chains of command and hierarchy. The chains of command is a continuous line of authority extending from the top of the organizational to the lowest level. Individuals who report to whom and establish accountability relationship. Function of the chains of command. Number one, clarifies a reporting relationship. Every employees know their direct superior. Number two, ensures consistent direction. Instruction flow downward system. Number three, prevents conflicting order. Only authorized manager can issue directives. Number four, establishes managerial accountability. Decision and outcomes are tied to individual with authority. Hierarchy of authority. Hierarchy refers to the number of levels in the organizational structure. Number one, tall structure. Component many layers of management, close supervision and control, and slow decision making due to multiple approaches. Number two, flat structure. Component few managerial level, faster communication, and employees have more autonomy. Span of control. Span of control refers to the number of employees a manager can effectively supervise. Number one, narrow span of control. Close monitoring of subordinates. More opportunities for coaching and but increases bureaucracies and costs. And two, wide span of control. Reduce number of manager need. Encourage employees independent but increases the risk of managerial overload. Centralization and decentralization. Number one, centralization. Centralization occurs when decision-making power is consent at top level of management. Characteristic uniform decision making, strong coordination, and police originates from top level leaders. Advantage ensures consistency across the organizational, strengthen strategic unity, and better control of cost and operation. Disadvantage slow response to change in the environment, low empowerment for lower level employees, and can demotivate them seeking autonomy. Next, decentralization. Decentralization transfer decision to making authority to lower and middle level of the organizational. Advantage faster decision to making, respond quickly to local needs, encourage creativity and innovation, and employ motivation. Disadvantage possible inconsistency in policies, requires competence and trained employees, and increased complexity in coordination. Conclusion. Designing an organizational structure is a crucial foundation for ensuring that all organizational activities run effectively, efficiently, and in alignment with strategic goals. A well-defined structure helps distribute tasks, assign responsibilities, establish communication flow, and regulates employees' behavior. Authority plays a central role in organizational design as it legitimates individual or position to make decisions, issue directive, and allocate research. Authority includes line, staff, and functional authority, each with its own rule and limitation, which must be clearly defined to prevent confusion or conflict. And the chains of command and hierarchy provide clarity in reporting relationship, ensuring that information and instruction flow smoothly throughout the organizational span of control influence how effectively manager can supervise their teams, impacting operational flexibility and managerial workload. Furthermore, centralization and decentralization are the fundamental approach the decision making. Centralization maintains strong control at the top management level, while decentralization empowers lower units to make decisions quickly and adaptively. Modern organizational typical apply a balanced hybrid approach to ensure consistency while maintaining flexibility. Organizational also rely on control mechanism to maintain alignment with objective, whether through formal control such as rules and procedure, or informal control such as culture, value, and social expectation. Technological control is increasingly important in the digital era. Thank you, guys.